Hi, everyone. Welcome to another one of amazing panels. This time we're gathered to talk about payments in CIS countries, and this specific panel is sponsored by Wooppay. So we are happy to have today Alexandr from Wooppay. Also, we have Olga, Head of Billings from Perimatch, Arin, Payments Product Owner at Digitain, and Giorgi, who is Payment Services Director at the Liberty Bank. And I'm Victoria. I will be moderating the panel, and hope you guys enjoy. Welcome, team.
Hello.
So right away, I think I can jump to the first question, to one of the hottest topics that also is very related to our industry and all the payments and our daily operations. How is COVID shaping the payment industry? How do we see it? What struggles are we seeing, and how we are solving it on a daily basis? Olga, maybe you would like to go first with this one.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Victoria, for introduction and for warm greetings. Yes, as a representative of operator, Perimatch is a big operator in CIS markets. Of course, because COVID touched audience and it touched our customers, we can see some specific ways, like how they start to pay, because they don't like to use ATMs right now, and card not present is more popular right now. But still, we need to educate some of our customers how to use a card, and maybe it will move the whole payment structure, really in Ukraine and Russia and Belarus, for example, to more online payment methods. But usually, people like ATMs. I don't know why, but they're doing a lot. I think the guys from Wooppay, they have information about terminals, what's the amount of terminals actually decreased.
Alexandr, maybe you can
have that information. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. As Olga said, COVID impacted our customers, but what we noticed that though they use card not present more, and they use alternative payment methods such as airtime balance, also they have less money, and that's why and the average amount of payments has decreased. But we saw that the whole amount of payments decreased in especially May and June, and now at this moment in February, so we're on the same amount. But to say about alternative payment methods, the airtime balance increased in 5% of the share. Now it's about 17% to 83% of cards.
Okay, so is it fair to say maybe that at the start of all the quarantines and at the start of first wave, people got sort of cautious about their spend, and we saw a decrease due to that, and now life, people are sort of adjusted to everything, and everything is starting to go up and back to, a new normal?
I think it's also connected that there is, on the beginning of quarantine and lockdown, all sport events was closed. So right now, at least some of them start to play. And of course, it helps for betting side, because casino works good from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, really correct. So further, if talking about the payments and payment options overall, I do know that Visa and MasterCard have further restrictions for CIS markets, and of course all the operators are affected by that. Does this create any new opportunities for alternative payment methods? Do we see increase in alternative payment methods? Maybe
I can start. As I mentioned before, we see that airtime balance increased by 5%, but how do they say? Self kiosks decreased because people cannot go to streets and they cannot. and to speak about the industry of payments. For example, in KZ, in Kazakhstan, payments in internet and cashless payments are now increased, and they are more than 50% of all the payments in our country.
If I could continue, I would say that maybe we can see this trend from a few years back when everything started to go online to be more digitalized, and I can see some simultaneous events like COVID, etc., that increased and increased this potential as COVID came along and people went more online and using online. Their behavior changed, and of course the payment industry and payment ecosystem was affected by it as well. So the more the end users go online, the more the need to provide these online e-payments, and at the same time with all the restrictions from the MasterCard and Visa, I wouldn't call them traditional payment methods or traditional banking system, but anyway, the alternative payment methods or fintechs, as they are building on the the already there infrastructure of the banks, etc., they are maybe more agile and maybe more fast to react to these kind of situations, to provide a better alternative means, and you can see the impact of their. I don't know if colleagues share this view or not, but that is the feeling and the experience that I've been having with the industry.
Okay. But also, like our customers, if you speak about customers, they have some habits, and lockdown like trying to change all habits, like all around the world, how we actually behave every day. And as I know, for example, in Kazakhstan, the people just like to pay like in cash machines, and even in lockdowns, they're trying to go after lockdown just to take money in cash machine. So it's like I don't know, like it's how lockdown influenced on all world, like how we can I don't know. How we can change this behavior, because actually a credit card is much easier than to go to a cash machine. But old customers, they don't want to change their habits.
It takes time. It takes time for people to change the habits. And as mentioned in Kazakhstan, we have this example. Maybe you have more examples for other countries. Alex, I think you wanted to.
Yeah, Victoria, Olga. Why people like to go to cash machines? Because there is no identification in such payment method, and people do not want to be identified. Prefer or other alternative payment methods, or even bank cards, and that's the new challenge from. In our industry, in fintech especially, is identification. The identification with the new digital methods, so the video streams, and that is to be clarified in our law. And I think there will be no space for unidentified payments in the next year.
Do you think COVID situation will help to make this process way faster?
That's
meaning for more.
That happens when the amount. Sorry. When payments, when amount of payments increases, there are more frauders, and there are more bad guys who tries to steal your data, and that's why we should monitor it, and we should prevent such things. We invest a lot of money into anti-fraud systems, and our government says that everyone who pays internet should be identified. And now we have one identification center which is certified, and I think we will use it in next year, and I think that will happen everywhere. You can unidentified payments and e-wallets like Kiwi and Yandex Money. So identification is everywhere, but the main concern is how to make it very quickly without going to bank or without going to post office or something. You should do it online, just by calling somebody.
Yep.
Olga, Arin, maybe you have something to add to this.
No, maybe no. Maybe we can go on to the next question. Actually, I got a case just yesterday, like about frauders. Like I'm living in Ukraine, in Kiev, and I was trying to apply for chargeback in my bank, and they just found out that in Ukraine the customer doesn't support it by bank actually, because I like really like I'm a professional in it, and I haven't the possibility to apply for a chargeback. It really, like I was calling to bank and said, okay, I will call the police if you will not apply for it. And it's also kind of like something, it starts to speak about frauders, but even if you're like notified and you're identified, sorry, in a bank, sometimes it's totally different, like from country to country. If you speak about Ukraine, it's totally different from Kazakhstan, because our bank system is literally different, yeah. And you need to understand this kind of knowledge in the specific CIS country, even because CIS is quite big, yeah, and Russia is a very big market with. They get these Kiwi and Yandex Money, like a huge APMs, like which are like accepted, I don't know, 15 or 20 like percentage of gambling traffic inside. Yeah, so it's a big APMs. In Ukraine, we don't have Kiwi in Yandex Money. We don't have any APM actually. We have only credit cards here.
So it's looking into all this different environment. Do you think there is like any way to find a flexible solution for everyone, or as the market is so big, it's considerably big, for quite a while we will still be going with different payment methods for different markets until we will get used to online to different payment methods?
Yeah. Okay, it will be the same payment method, for example, mobile commerce, but in each country it's different mobile commerce provider. So it's still different payment methods. And to proceed in each country, you need a local acquire bank, like for Ukraine, like Ukrainian, for Kazakhstan, because approval ratio for each of them will be much higher than actually Europe bank. And you can see the specifics that you can't apply with CIS markets like for Europe bank. You need to have local banks. So of course it will be different. But we understand all this is like different integration, different acquiring, different APMs, and they are local.
Alex, I saw you were nodding.
User scenarios.
Sorry?
Yeah, I just want to add that there are even different UX, UI, user scenarios, user interfaces in different countries, because people get accustomed to that payment methods. We can even compare Uzbekistan with Kazakhstan and Tajikistan. There are different payment methods because of their history, because they have their own card system, and they have a lot of APMs in Uzbekistan especially, and they're very progressive, to be honest, in this sphere. And I think that APMs in Uzbekistan will be more even than in Kazakhstan, especially more than in Ukraine. As I know, Beeline, for example, tried to build mobile finance services in Ukraine, and from the next year, there's some issues with the law, with unidentified payments that forbids to use some payment methods, especially mobile phone services.
In Ukraine,
two questions. What customers need? They need fast payments, secure payments, and simple process. So maybe it's risky, but without alternative methods, we can't develop further. So we have to match, of course, some regulations, but we also have to think about more about UX and UI mentioned from Alex.
Giorgi, maybe you can share a bit more from your perspective about, I know that you have a vast knowledge in payment systems in Georgia, and what list of channels banks can offer for users for the payments.
Yesterday we talked about Georgia as a gaming hub of CIS region, and I fully agree with the arguments were said. Liberty Bank have seen this potential many years ago, and we were first bank in our country who started working on this specific segment. About 8 or 9 years ago, we made the first gambling card in Georgia named Fortuna card, and it was the first serious product to say in Georgia. But of course, we were thinking about how to improve services and how to improve channels for our users. And for today, we already have various channels. It's internet bank, mobile bank, cash payment terminals, ATMs, our web pages. These are the channels where customers can make payments. I mean, as deposit money to the gambling account and back to withdraw money from gambling balance to his bank account. And what the main, we're working about digitalization, not before COVID era, this 21st century, and we must go digital. And for now, we are working on other projects, and maybe next year we'll launch a really innovative product for gambling industry that we think will change users' habits and increase cashless transactions share. We'll try to do so.
That's really exciting. And will this apply only for Georgia market, or you see a possibility to apply this for other markets as well, to sort of like increase the reach?
First of all, we'll launch this project for Georgian market, but maybe we'll go outside too. First of all, in Georgia.
Got it. Olga, I know that you have some ideas to discuss on some of the topics. You can go ahead.
Yes, because like nowadays we can see that a lot of CIS markets, they're trying to change their legalization, like law regulation in specific countries. Ukraine already signed in legalization, like regulation for gambling, but we're still waiting for tax law. Yeah, tax law. I knew that Kazakhstan is also trying to got new rules in legalization, and Uzbekistan is trying to legalize. And I would like to ask you what your opinion about legalization and how PSP and operator can actually prepare themselves to new rules. Maybe some ideas or some comments.
This is, I guess, for Alex.
Maybe, yes, if Alex is ready to discuss with me, like how they prepare themselves in Kazakhstan. If no, you just tell me, okay, no. Yeah, or maybe you can ask me some operator questions.
No, well, of course, we know about this moment. And of course, we are doing some procedures. We made integrations with the mobile carriers even more deeper. We did it deeper, and we work with these guys who do the central betting
system
service.
Oh yes,
system,
like Supits in Russia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. So it's only a matter of time, because I think it's a good way to make to make the market more clearer for everybody, and to make it themselves, because somebody can control them and not let them to enter the market of gambling or betting. And that's a good way. Speaking for other countries, for Uzbekistan, we're now we got license of electronic money just a few days ago. National Bank said that we got it, and we want to scale our main product from Kazakhstan as a mobile payment system, mobile finance services to Uzbekistan. So that will be another APM, and we'll see, because in every market people's behavior differs from the other, and we just need to understand.
Maybe talking a bit more about mobile, do you see any specific trends by different countries already?
We see that the share of mobile payments, but by saying mobile payments, I mean payments from airtime balance. The share is increasing, and the share increases, and the amount, average amount of payments increases. I think that's because it's much easier than to use your card for sending money, for using it as a payment method, and there is identification. There is an identification when you buy a number, but it should be, of course, be a bit strengthened. I think that's all that what we see.
I got another statistic about mobile payments. Like a few years ago, we got some, how it's called, not investigation, but we checked how our customers pays. And it was surprised, but first deposits usually are doing by mobile payments. I think it's because they don't want to, like a customer in CIS, they don't trust to put your number, card number everywhere. They don't believe, like they don't trust actually payment pages or casinos or betting companies. Like it's not a Europe market. You need like to be as more trustful as you can be. And that's why they are doing actually mobile payments first. And after all, when they already start to believe, okay, this is a normal casino, this is a good provider, I trust them, they can put a card number. Of course, it changes, but still we have some like the same dynamic. The first deposits are made by mobile commerce. But actually, like as me, like I'm head of payments and I don't know how to use mobile commerce.
Well, from a gaming technology provider, perspective, what I can see is that in majority of our customers, the card payments are still, the top choice for them. But then comes all the e-wallets, and when you're looking into the e-wallets and the type they are using, I'm not gonna name anyone, but when they are using the e-wallets, mostly the ones that are usually completing the whole chain of the ecosystem. For example, you are able to attach append a card to your mobile wallet, and you are able to use that same mobile wallet to gaming to pay for the gaming industry, and then to pay for the utility payment, etc. So this cash cycle is completed. Then these are the type of the mobile wallets are mostly popular with the end users here. That is the kind of experience that I've been seeing as a trend. So maybe colleagues could also say if it's applicable for their regions or.
Arin, do you have any statistic about age of customers who would like to pay mobile commerce? Because I got opinions that it's kind of young people actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The younger generation, because they are, as a habit, they are more accustomed to using the mobile, mobile, and they are always online on the mobile. So it's part of their, usual day-to-day habit of using all this type. And they are reluctant to go into the ATM machine and take out the cash. Even they try to, they like to pay as much as possible with their mobile applications. So yeah, I completely agree with you. It's got a lot to do with the age as well.
Taking into mind that retention of the new generation, the young generation, is usually very difficult, let's say, and they are, fast users of fast life. Do you think that mobile payments will make the situation better in terms that if they have a faster payment solution, a mobile payment solution, they will tend more to come back, and knowing that they have an easy way to deposit, make them more returning players?
I don't know.
I can share. We had one channel. It's called USSD menu. It's like mobile commerce because you dial the code, and you can pay for the providers. We had two gambling providers there. It was Acharabet and EuropaBet. So with one click, you were able to top up balance on these gambling companies. Many users, we had many users, but smartphones changed their habit, and now the main channel is, of course, mobile bank for us as a bank. And mobile bank have rather many users than internet bank. So desktop application is not more.
Okay, if no comments on this more, thank you, Giorgi. I have two questions in our Q&A. So first one is, has cryptocurrency made any inroads into the CIS markets? What are your views on the future of the currency for gambling?
Okay, cryptocurrencies. Usual percentage of guys, of customer who would like to pay cryptocurrency is 5%, not more. Maybe in each region we have this young and smart and cryptocurrency guys who would like to pay the cryptocurrencies, but it's not as big as we expected. Some of our providers for cryptocurrency share with us information that they have this 5%, maybe for all operators. The guys who would who play with, not play, but who attend to cryptocurrencies, 20% of them are gamblers. But only 5% of all gamblers try to play cryptocurrencies. It's not so easy for customer, actually. I don't know how to explain my grandma, for example, how to pay by Bitcoin. I don't know how to explain to my father, how to pay by Bitcoin. And this is a big problem of, because the payment way how to pay it is quite hard. You need to explain it, need to understand it, you need to be into it. I don't know. Maybe the cryptocurrency can grow up only if they will do something with payment flow for cryptocurrency.
Is it can we say still premature for gambling to use cryptocurrencies as an easy solution?
I'm not sure, because actually as a to have a cryptocurrency is already gambling. It's my opinion, my honest opinion, that if you already have a Bitcoin, you're playing a gambling game, because you're waiting or grow up.
I agree with you.
It's investment. You're trying to get opinion. Of course, nowadays it's investment. You're trying to understand it will grow up or fall down. Should I pay for it? Not. It's not not so big amount of people who are actually using cryptocurrency as a payment method.
I think what makes cryptocurrency so appealing to some people is the fact that you don't need to go through over all those digital onboarding, etc., KYC, etc. So there may be some people who want to just skip that part of it, but still I agree with Olga. It's not gaining that much, and we don't see a very big big jump in the numbers of the users for the cryptocurrency.
But actually, it's not true, because already to have a cryptocurrency wallet, you still need to have all compliance to filled up. And if you amount
I'm talking about the mindset that it's believed so. It's believed to be like that. But I completely agree with you.
It's not so easy to get involved, actually.
Yeah.
Not in the CIS region, but as you know, already is one gambling company where you can place your bet by cryptocurrency. It's online gambling company, but not in CIS.
You can place a bet here in Paramatch as well on the cryptocurrency, but nobody wants to do it.
I wanted to ask, is it popular? Do you see? Alex, I think you also wanted to say something on this topic.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about KYC that, for example, in KZ, I think we will have something like digital ID, digital passport. So you make your identification or KYC once, and you can use it elsewhere, all over the internet. And I think that in our region, we can agree between our countries that we can use these for example, in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Ukraine, Russia, and so on, and Georgia, of course. So that's, I think that will not be the problem.
Okay. We have a second related question, actually. I'll still read it aloud. Are you able to explain more about the adoption of digital currencies in CIS? How much engagement has it seen, and do you believe this will grow given the climate? So I think the second part of the question is really relevant. How much engagement do we see already? And how do you see any trends, how it will grow in the near future?
I'm not sure. I think it's not about COVID, because they compete with cards, and the cards are still easier and more useful for people. I don't believe in cryptocurrency, at least for a while. If something will not change, I don't know.
For example, for me, with cryptocurrencies, we see the situation from operator side where we are raising questions about KYC. But as a player, for myself, I also have a certain distrust in cryptocurrencies because I'm not used to that. And there are so many other payment options, some other payment options that I can use online before cryptocurrencies will become sort of like stable and day-to-day payment method. Can this also be the case that players are not trusting the crypto payment methods?
Yeah, it can be.
And we have one more question. Can you share your opinion on cash payments in CIS countries? We already heard that some of the people are still going to the APMs despite the COVID and quarantine. Any other thoughts on this?
I can share some statistics.
Go ahead.
Okay, I can share some statistics. A half of our customers, in each region where we operate, at least once use the cash method. I think it's something in the culture, because it's easy when you're going home and you see cash machine and you would like to do something and you just put a money. I don't know. And actually, cash machine is very expensive for operators and for PSPs. And it's a long way how to deposit the money on the betting. And as you know, betting in casino is kind of emotional, so you need to do it faster. But still, people in CIS markets likes cash machines.
Yes, we have also cash payment terminals for all Georgia, and many users use this option. We already mentioned this identification process, and maybe because of this factor, they choose this method. They can stand in front of a cash payment terminal, and no one knows that this guy is a gambler. and they are afraid of banks also, not only government regulations. They think that if bank knows that I'm a gambler, bank never use me credit, maybe. So they're trying to find some other channels where they aren't identified. So it's also popular in Georgia, I can say.
Yeah, and I think one of the other factors that people like cash, or the amount how much people would gonna prefer cash, is that also when you look at all of the other industries who are supporting e-payments, or they are supporting cash. So the more I think the more the cash is used in other environments, in other payments, I mean in stores, etc., people would tend to use cash eventually. I mean, you are going to complete the cycle again with the e-money, but at the end of the day, if I need to go to the shop and to pay in the shop, and most accepted method is going to be cash, regardless of the country, regardless of the industry, then at the end of the day, I'm more likely to cash out as a cash and use it as a cash. So I think it also affects the behavior of the people in that way, and it depends to the countries how digital payments are accepted in those countries.
Okay, thank you. So we don't have any other Q&A questions, and if there is no other questions to discuss, actually the 40 minutes ran pretty fast. Guys, any final thoughts on the topic?
I can start.
So...
I can start. Yeah, it's like my main idea, like on this discussion, is that each region, like Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, like Uzbekistan, all of them, they got very specific, like for specific view on the payments. The customers addict to some payment methods. In some countries, it's mobile commerce. In some, it's APMs. Like in Ukraine, we have only cards, and it's like some kind of. In Kazakhstan, I know that they like, for example, pay to ATM, do withdrawals of ATM. And each operator who would like to go in the specific market need to understand this market. Of course, payment provider like Wooppay, for example, they can help with it because they understand at least their market, like which is like where they are big, or in the way they understand this market. But still, I'm sure that each of them is quite interesting. And for Europe people, I don't know, because I am representative for a CIS operator. And for us, maybe Europe is more interesting because we don't know it. But I'm sure that all European operators can do like CIS markets with some help with PSPs, for example.
Thank you, Olga. Guys, any final thoughts from you? So I think we can call our panel done. Thank you, everybody, for the great discussion. I think if given time, we could still extend into further discussion about differences, about the solutions. But for today, thank you everyone for participation, and see you soon.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.